Hello, hello, hello. What's up? I'm back. I'm here. I'm ready to roll. How are y'all doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome. All right. So let's get this started. Hi, everyone. My name is Kevin. I will be your host today. For those that don't know me and Maybe some of you know me, maybe some of you don't, but my name is Kevin. I am a YouTube content creator. Some of you may know me as Kevino Gaming on YouTube, and I like to make stuff like Neopets videos, chill gaming videos. So if that's your vibe, check it out. You may also know me as I Don't Get It on Neopets. I'm often on the PC boards trying to trade up the chain and win Neopets because there's always a winner, right? There's always a winner. Now, I do want to quickly mention right now that the live closed captions will not be available, but closed captions will be added after the live is completed. So if that is something you're looking for, wait for that. It will be added. Be patient. And yeah, for today's agenda, we will be talking about the upcoming TCG set, which I'm super excited about. And then we will be also talking about the Tales of Dacardia, which recently had a soft launch. Going to get a lot more information about that, a little bit of the behind the scenes. And then lastly, we're going to be wrapping up with a AMA with our CEO, Dom. So look out for that. Lots going on, lots going on. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. Please join me in welcoming Bobby from Upper Deck. Hey, what's up? Hi. Do we tell? I don't know if I should tell him that he's muted.
I am muted. I know. Hi, everybody. So stoked to be here.
Hey, Joe. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing today?
I am incredible. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm doing
Okay.
amazing. I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for
Wow.
asking.
I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah. I love it too.
That's so good.
Yeah. So I hear you're part of Upper Deck. That's what the info told me.
That's
Could you
me.
tell? Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit more about what you do for the team? How were you involved with the Neopets Battledome trading card game?
Sure. So to start off, hi, everybody. My name is Bobby Couvert. I am the product manager and game designer / creator of Neopets Battledome trading card game. So in this whole process of creating Neopets Battledome trading card game, well, first off, let's talk about Upper Deck. Upper Deck has been involved in trading cards and has been at the forefront of innovation, elevation, creativity, and quality for the past 30 years. So I've been lucky enough that I've been with the company now for about 2 years. And I hopped in and was able to start working on this game back in late 2020 is when I started working on it. But now since I've been working on this game for a little bit, I've been in the TCG industry kind of for the past 15 years. I've been playing competitively for 15 years, but I've been, a fan of TCGs for a lifetime. So being able to bring this game to this incredible community has been so cool.
Yeah, competitive gamer. 15 years is a very long time. 15 years is a very
I'm
long
old,
time.
apparently.
No, you're so young. You're so young.
Thank you.
So maybe before we kind of get into some more details, could you maybe get us primed and ready? What do you think is the most exciting aspects or elements of this Neopets TCG that you're working on?
Oh yeah. So the Neopets Battledome trading card game is so unique, and I hope I have some friends here that from my live streams that we've been doing with Ryan over at Upper Deck. On our Upper Deck live streams, we've seen our teaser campaigns for the past 6 weeks. But there's a lot of exciting and really unique elements to Neopets Battledome trading card game. One of the big ones is the dice. Dice is something super unique that we don't really see in trading card games. So my goal was really to create an inclusive and approachable TCG that can kind of bridge that gap between your standard tabletop gamer, whether that be an RPG, role-playing game player, or a fan of board games, and kind of give them a good spot to come into the TCG world with something that's really easy to pick up, but could take some additional time to master.
No, I think that's super exciting, and definitely kind of see the importance of making things super easy to kind of pick up and learn, because I've definitely tried my hand at a number of card games, and sometimes the rules can get very overwhelming, and I feel like every card is a million paragraphs, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? So I like that
Yeah.
was the focus there.
I'm with you. The design's really intuitive in this game, so it's pretty easy. The cards do a really good job of telling you exactly how to do something, when to do it, and makes it really easy to walk you through the process.
Definitely. And could you maybe talk us through how you go through the process of creating these cards?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. So like I said, not only am I the game designer, but I'm also the product manager, which means from concept to reality, I've been a part of every single aspect of the game. So looks like on the screen now we have the Starry Zafara art time lapse from Ash Warner. But really what we start with when we're creating this game is we start with a concept, and I come up with that concept and I present it to the entire Upper Deck team. From then we move into, we kind of go three directions. So we go into game design, we go into art, acquisition, and we go into graphic design. So I'm going to talk about art since we're showing this off right now. Our art acquisition coordinator slash art director, his name is Emily Mazza, and has done such an incredible job with this game. Like you can see here, we're starting Zafara, and Ash Warner is one of those artists that Emily and I found to work on this game. We really, really took it serious about going into the community and finding these absolutely incredible artists. We have, I think, over 12 artists on the game, including the incredible Anthony Conley, of course. And I am so happy and proud to say every single person that worked on this game is a fan of Neopets. And this really is a game that's by the fans, for the fans. From there, that art acquisition, we're also working on game design. So that's where I come in. So I'm working on creating my list of characters that I think not only I'm going to enjoy, but that are going to resonate with the fans as well. So I decided for this first set to stay at home and start in Neopia Central and the Defenders of Neopia. So we start off, I have a program that I use that I put all my cards into, I put all my design into, and start working on that and coming up with what I think those characters will do. And then we print those out and we start play testing. I think we have a photo of some early play testing too, which is pretty fun that maybe we can share. There it is. Look how ugly they are.
Wait, I have those. I have that playmat right here. I won't lift it up because things are going to fall off, but I have that as well.
I love it. So on this picture here, you can see some of my really early designs for the cards. This is something that I just threw together, a layout and printed out cards so we can start play testing, as well as their prototype dice on there, our very first set of dice that we created, which now look a little bit different than they did then. But that game design, I really take the time to think about what would this character do, or what would this character want to do. I've been playing Neopets over 20 years. I'm a huge fan of the lore. So creating these characters has been so much fun. So after the game design, we also do the graphic design, and that's creating the borders, creating the text boxes, the icons, all that. And then once we have all those things, we kind of slap all those together to create a card, and then we move on to production, and that part's really boring, of printing and all that stuff. I mean, I think it's cool, but it's probably not super exciting to hear about. But the cards get printed, and then soon will be in everybody's hands, so we can enjoy Neopets Battledome trading card game together.
Yeah, no, I think it's super exciting. Something that really stood out to me, especially when the drawing of the Starry Zafara was like being with the time lapse and all that, like I saw certain assets like the stargazing background come up, and I don't know, like that's my favorite background. So like it's really cool to kind of see this art look like an extension of something that's really classic to Neopets on, like, the classic Neopets site. And I heard you mention a couple times about the dice. Those look pretty cool. It sounded like that's like part of it.
It is. They are custom made resin dice that will come in the starter sets, or the starter decks. And yeah, super excited for everybody to see those.
I'll have them in the hand and be like making the nice little ASMR noises.
Yes, for real. I love that.
Yeah. And then maybe you could tell us a little bit more about like what we could just expect at launch period.
Sure. So like I just said, the starter decks. So we're coming out with 2 starter decks at launch, which is the starter deck Starry, which is going to feature Starry Akara, and then our Fire starter deck, which is going to feature Fire Uni. we also are starting off with, like I said, the Defenders of Neopia. So we have our booster box. It's 24 packs per box, 8 cards per pack. And that's going to be our main lines. Right at release, we'll have these 3 items available. There's a look at the boosters up front, and then the card backs as well. Gosh, the card backs are cool. I hope some of y'all have been able to see them, but they have like this cool spot UV on them, so they're really shiny and they have a little bit of texture. They're super, super neat.
Oh, wait, I haven't seen these before, so I'm like very like intrigued. Oh wow, I really like these. I'm like so excited to just grab a few packs and just rip them open and like look at what I get. The best feeling for sure.
Kevin, we'll hook you up. Don't worry.
Oh yes,
We'll take care of you.
Y'all, this is why I do it. This is why I do it.
For free stuff.
for free stuff. No, I really like that. And I feel like the other thing that really stood out to me is like I really like that the art is still like extremely dynamic, and it feels like not just like stock images that we've seen on the site. It's like really truly like original stuff that's just like, I don't know, feels like brand new material. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I like it. And I am Team Fire Uni. I'm just gonna put that out there. There will be teams, and there's a right team.
Well, I'm on the other side, so I love Star Dacardia. That is one of my favorite art pieces in the entire game.
No, it's okay to be wrong that you picked the wrong side, but I'll let you have this one.
Love it.
So how many different characters can we expect on this initial release, you think?
I went crazy for this initial launch. There's going to be over 250 unique cards in the base set, and when we take in like different rarities and whatnot too, we're looking at like over 400 plus different cards. The number's pretty high. So a lot to collect, a lot of things that are really exciting. But I definitely made it a challenge for myself to come up with 250 unique cards at the beginning. But I think it was well worth it.
Let me take a look at these. Oh, these are really cool.
Yeah, so these are I put together a little list of some of my favorite characters, as well as some new characters that nobody's seen yet. So not on this page, but we'll get to them in just a sec. So on this page are some of our Neopets. There's Red Cow, Blue Loop, My Best Boy, Yellow Galert, and Green Eerie. And there are different stats on there. So we also have Rainbow Pool Neopets, so you can use paintbrushes to transform your pets into their Rainbow Pool versions, like Ghost Loop here. Ghost Loop art was done by Jeep Jupe. This is my favorite piece of art in the game. I have a Ghost Loop on my account personally, and I absolutely love this piece of art. It is so cool. So cool. Here are some brand new cards that we haven't shown off yet. If you caught my stream last week, I teased the Battle Fairy Dagger, but Vera's Wing Dagger, our favorite goth girlfriend, is here with her dagger. We got Dagger on this page. But Vera's Wing Dagger, that card's cracked. That card does, it's a level 5 level requirement, does a ton of damage to your opponent's Neopet. And then the Blade of the the Battle Fairy Dagger is probably my favorite combo piece card in the game, being able to deal some direct damage to your opponent. We also got the Queens. Mother has arrived.
Not mother.
Fiora, not mother. Jadora in the pose with Fiora sitting down, being her queenly self. These cards are amazing. They are some of our ultra rares in the set, some of the hardest cards to get. These are going to have a really cool motion coat technology on them as well, which is like a textured raised foil that's going to go on top of these cards and in the background. But yeah, Chidora and Fiora are some of the fairies that are going to be featured in that first set in Defenders of Neopia, and they have really strong abilities that kind of changes how the game's played on your side of the Battle Dome. And then some fun ones. Here's the Hot Dog of Justice. The card's hilarious. The Hot Dog of Justice says stop, which it literally negates a card that your opponent plays. It's very funny. I put 10 hot dogs in the Defenders of Neopia set. There's 10 different hot dogs
Oh.
because I thought it was funny. That was literally the reason why I decided on that.
Okay,
I
the
thought it was
hot dogs on
hilarious.
Neopets are kind of iconic, though. I feel like
They
they
are.
really went all out on the creative hot dogs, so I don't
They're
blame you.
crazy. So I had to include them. I think they're funny. It's a meme. It's like it's got to be in the game. It's too good.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
Jadora's Potion. It's a good card just to deal direct damage to your opponent. Super fun one. Probably my favorite potion in the game.
Wow, look at those battles. I see the Ghost Bomb, the Slorg Flakes. Oh wow, this is a
Oh
rich
yeah,
Neopian, a rich Neopian.
yeah, that's right. All right, 3 brand new legends that we haven't showed yet. I've been so excited to show these 3 off. These are my 3 favorite legends in the game. I'll start with Nilo. Nilo, as most of us should know, is that tutorial character when you
Mhm.
get first come into Neopets. So what he does is he searches. Oh, he's on your head
I
with
know. I got his
glasses.
head on me.
Wow, rest in peace. Um, so he searches your deck for a card with a level requirement of 1. It's just such a good card. Great searcher.
Mhm.
Um, and we coined the term here in the office of, is that Niloable? So now when I design cards, it's like if a card's level 1, we refer to it as Niloable. So that it's like a balancing thing for us. Then we got Blackwing, one of the defenders of Neopia, drawn by Anthony Conley. This card is cracked. Take a read at it. You're revealing cards. You're adding cards to your inventory. This card is very, very good. And then the Deep Cut, one of our villains in Neopia, the Eyes of Dark. Eyes of Dark is so cool. This art's by Shamin Athena King. Go back to Nilo. Nilo was done by Jeep Jupe. But Shamin Athena King did the art on Eyes of Dark. Such good art. Deep cut with him. He's like in the background of like a collectible card, but he's mentioned at some point. So I really try to get deep into the lore and find some cool characters that really didn't have a lot of art and give
Mhm.
them some new life. So Eyes of Dark was one of them.
Yeah, no, this is amazing. I'm loving that there's like a lot of like varied effects. Some of them are giving me. I see a graceful charity in there, but draw
Uh,
draw 3 to this card too.
you're catching on. Some of it.
I love it. No, these are amazing, and the art is, again, like I said, it's just giving us another like view into the. Sorry if you can hear my. I don't have a dog, but there's a dog in
Oh,
the hallway.
oh,
No, thank you for showing us that amazing art. I'm
no,
super
thank you.
impressed. It's really hard to impress me, so you should be like really happy that you impressed me.
Great, finally.
Yeah,
It's one. That's
exactly.
one. That's one
That's one.
person.
It's done. You got your one.
We got one.
Exactly. No, you mentioned rarities,
They did.
especially with the queens.
Yes.
Tell me more.
So every pack is going to come, like I said, with 8 cards. We're gonna have 3 commons. That common slot's mainly gonna be your Neopets, your standard
Mhm.
Neopets. 2 rares. That's gonna be some of your equipment, and potions and food and stuff like that will pop in there, as well as the Starry and the Fire Neopets will be in that rare slot. It comes with 1 super rare or higher.
Or
Um,
higher.
and then you get 1 code stone as well in every single pack. Code stones are like they do exactly what you do in the browser, so they train your Neopets to make their level go up as well as some of their stats and abilities. But super rare plus. So we have our super rares, which are beautiful rainbow foil cards with spot UV on the top of it. They're just absolutely gorgeous. Up on top of that is going to be our ultra rares, which is that cool motion coat technology. Then we have rainbow rares, which I showed off really recently for the first time. That is exactly what it sounds like. The whole card's rainbowed out, has motion coat technology on it, so this textured foil. Every single one of the 20 Neopets in the base set and Defenders of Neopia is going to get a rainbow rarity, and those are going to be 1 per box. Those ultra rares, 1 per box. Then we also, of course, have Grundle warehouse codes, which are also going to be 1 per box. Some super cool exclusives, things that we got in there, like there's an At the Battle Dome background, a Blade of the Battle Fairy wearable, a Punch Bag Bob wearable that he which is an animated wearable. So he's sitting there like teetering. It's so funny. Those are going to be 1 per box. And then maybe there's a little bit more stuff, maybe a secret or 2.
A secret. Yes, a secret.
That maybe some people will find out as they open up packs. There might be some secrets.
I myself I really like having like high rarity stuff in packs, but then you still have those foils in the pack, so that it feels like you're really still able to pull something every time you rip open a pack. And like, it adds to the excitement when you know that there's something that's only 1 per booster box, or like 1 every like a couple dozen packs. It's like, it feels like a big deal, and I think that really adds to the whole experience. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, I agree. I remember that feeling of being a kid and screaming in the mall, opening up one of my first packs of TCG cards and pulling that card I really wanted. I also forgot to mention that every single common, rare, and code stone is going to come in a foil rarity, and that's the last slot in the pack I didn't mention. So you're getting 2 foils per pack, guaranteed.
I like that.
So pretty.
I love it. So obviously you've talked about the cards a lot, and I think the question that's looming in people's mind is like release dates. Like, when can we expect it?
So I unfortunately can't say the exact release date. I wish I could, but I can say it is coming very, very soon. I have if you've been on the Upper Deck streams, I've promised before Gen Con, which is August 2nd. And I'm sticking to that promise, but I'm going to say it's very, very soon.
Okay, very, very soon. Now you're not just saying that so I forget that you're supposed to hook me up too, right?
No.
I won't forget that.
You should don't.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing that. It's been really exciting to learn so much about all the TCG work that has happened and all the work that you do behind the scenes to enable us, and also showing us a sneak peek at a lot of the art, a lot of the mechanics of the game. Super excited for
thank you.
My hookup and also learning more. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Just quick shout out really fast to you Battle Dome baddies out there. I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked to be here. Honestly, a dream come true. Just to be talking on this Neopets Live and talking to this incredible community that I think we're all so lucky to be a part of.
And what else are you grateful for?
I am grateful for Neopets. I'm grateful for Grundos Cafe. I'm thankful for. I could go on for a long time, but gosh, I love everybody. It's been. I'm thankful for AC. We love air conditioning. Let's go off my list, but really, from the bottom of my heart, this has been some of the greatest past couple months of my life. Getting to share these teasers with the community, and the community's response has been absolutely incredible. And yeah, it's just been amazing. So thank you to the community. Thank you to my friends and family and my coworkers at Upper Deck for supporting me through these through this release. It's been so exciting. And we're almost there. So
we're almost there.
Thanks y'all for hanging on with me. So we more news soon.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for sharing. It's been nice to have you.
Appreciate you.
Bye. All right, that was super exciting. I myself am very excited because I will get packs and I'm gonna open them, and then I'm like, I don't know if y'all have ever opened packs before, but like you open them, there's like a new card smell. I don't know. I don't want to be weird, but that's a thing. So with that said, next up we have a segment to talk through the newly released, well, soft released Tales of Dacardia. Please join me in welcoming TNT Jewel and TNT Goatee Wrangler, or Fish Wrangler, if you know the T. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are y'all doing?
Great.
Good to be here.
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing awesome. I'm doing great. I think before we get started that we have prepared a trailer for the audience before we get started. So they get a little sneak peek,
That's right.
I won't lie, I jumped a little bit when that came on. No, but super awesome stuff. Very excited, and I think it'll help Tails just get a little sneak peek of before we get started. So very cute too, I'll say. Before we get started talking about the game, the behind the scenes development work that went into it, maybe we can start off with some introductions. TNT Jewel, do you want to start us off?
Sure, yeah. I'm Jewel. I'm new to TNT, but not to Neopets. I've been building and rebuilding Tales of Dacardia with Goatee Wrangler here for about 5 years now. Some of you might remember me from last month's Q&A with Amanda on the Amanda Files, so shout out to Amanda. So yeah, if you remember that, you'll remember that I'm the narrative designer on Tales of Dacardia. So I write all the plot, dialogue, characters, quests, and lore for the game. Nice to meet you all. Nice to see some of you again. So hello.
Hello. You're up next.
Hey, how's it going? I am Goatee Wrangler. I'm the lead artist on Tales of Dacardia, and I did a lot of the concept artwork for the game, including like the buildings, the key NPC characters, and also the Krabby Bots, our little kind of cute mascot-y kind of characters. These days, I lead the art team. We've got a talented group of artists, and right now we're working to deliver features and live ops content. And yeah, it's exciting. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, excited to have you both here. Maybe we can start off with Joel, TNT Joel. Like, you can talk about some of the overviews of the game and what players can kind of expect as they get into it.
Sure, yeah, I can do that. So yeah, Tales of Dacardia is a game where you're called upon for your town planning skills to help restore an ancient, mostly forgotten land in Neopia called Dacardia after a strange, mysterious storm has ravaged it. You work with your forewoman, Lania Craig, and her crew of Krabby Bots, which you can see on the screen here. They're super cute, super fun and adorable. We love our Krabby Bots. Yeah, and along the way, you build more than just homes for the displaced Neopets that like their homes got destroyed in the storm. You build friendships with characters, some new and some very familiar. Yeah, but of course, like we wouldn't be able to see any of these new or familiar faces without some of the amazing work that the art team has done, which Nate has mentioned. So yeah, I think Goatee Wrangler can talk a little bit more about that in a bit.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I know that whole process that we go through with the game is really fun, collaborative process. It starts with a lot of communication with the designers, talking about who these characters are, what are the really important notes to hit with them, so that when we come up with that design and finalize it, all the lore and narrative around that character is well supported. And we kind of, as we move forward into the iterating on the concept art, we kind of blend a rule of cool, what's fun, what's cool, with referencing existing characters in Neopia and in the lore. And yeah, we just try and combine those. And of course, we have the classic team just down the virtual hallway. So we have a tremendous amount of lore knowledge and brand expertise. These people who have been working on Neopets for so long, and we rely on them a lot to give us feedback on these designs.
Yeah, that's awesome. Taking a look at the art, as someone who can like barely draw a star, I'm always very impressed when I see that stuff. It's always like, wow, I like forget that other people can do things that I can't. And I'm like, how dare you? So I think it's very impressive. And then obviously the story itself and the lore and all that coming together is so critical to creating like a cohesive, immersive experience. Wow, I sound like I'm giving an interview answer, but it's true. It gives you the right experience. So TNT Joel, like, what do you think kind of inspired the team to create the storyline in particular, and like creating like the elements of exploration and just focusing on the storytelling so that players can have like something that they can look forward to?
So when I was brought onto the project early on, the concept had already been decided on that we were making a town building game with mystery elements. So the storm thing had kind of already been decided. It had already been settled on, and I kind of had to expand from there. So I worked with the design team and the design team lead at the time and coordinated with the classic site to make sure everything fit, that I wasn't contradicting any existing lore, that the things that I was like noting from the lore all kind of fit in with what already existed. But that was kind of the fun of it for me. So like not only was I building Dacardia from the ground up lore wise, I had to figure out what we could use from the site, like characters that we could use and that could show up in Dacardia. So players again can look forward to seeing some friendly and maybe not so friendly faces as they build out Dacardia and get to explore the varied landscape and learn more about the history of the land and its like deep, hidden, dark secrets.
Okay. I like it. I like it. So do you feel like there are any tie-ins with like, so okay, I feel like you mentioned, not I feel like you mentioned that you had to like kind of think about how it kind of plays along with the existing lore on the site, right? Which probably means you had to do like deep dives of your own so that no one could catch you, making conflicts or anything like saying anything crazy. But do you feel like then that means there are tie-ins to the existing Neopets lore and that there's something to kind of look at there?
Yeah, so I've been a fan of Neopets for a long time since I was a kid. So the dives weren't too deep. I mean, they were deep dives, but I already had like a pretty good knowledge of Neopets, and I'd participated in a lot of the plots as I was growing up. So I was familiar with the characters and familiar with some of the things that they had done. But yeah, there's definitely going to be some site tie-ins. So some of the things that we're going to do is like tie into the events in the site. The first of which will be our long-awaited Altador Cup. So not only will you finally get to see Team Dacardia take to the field, we're going to take the cup by storm, you guys. I promise you, it's going to be great. It's going to be fun. But you'll be able to deck out Dacardia itself in the team colors, and you might even get to score some goals with your Krabby bots. But yeah, otherwise, I don't want to say too much, but some of our characters, like our beloved Neopets characters, will be making appearances, and some of our new characters have allusions to the rest of Neopia. For example, one of our characters is from Neopia Central. We have a character who's studying Altador, hence her enthusiasm for the Altador Cup, which is again going to tie into our event. And lastly, a certain master builder in Dacardia may even be related to a certain recently unveiled master artist on the site.
Okay. Master artist. I wonder who that could be. I don't know. So for the folks that are kind of new to the world of Neopets, like how do you think the game introduces them to the lore and character of Neopia as well?
Well, I think the really great thing about introducing new players to Neopets and to the world of Neopia is just that there's so much content to draw from. A lot of history, a lot of great storylines have been written, and just so much to draw from. It's really fun to introduce people to that. And as Jules mentioned, we got these familiar faces that have a role to play in Dacardia's fate. And I'm excited to see kind of what other sorts of lore and Easter eggs we can weave into the storylines and the environment as we show it to fans.
Yeah, and kind of adding on to that, one of the things that like I really strove to capture while I was writing was the tone of Neopets in the classic site. So I wanted to keep that sense of adventure and whimsy while still kind of making Dacardia and Tales of Dacardia feel like its own thing. It's a whole new world, but it's within the world of Neopets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could definitely see myself like kind of as I explore the game. It's like as you come across characters that you kind of recognize or like again like see those allusions, so you're like, oh, I see that. I'm so smart, and then you feel good about yourself, and then that's probably what you want people to feel smart. So just know,
Totally.
I'm sure I'll feel smart at least a couple times. No, it sounds like it'll be a really awesome time, and I know that a lot of love, effort, and kind of everything went into building this kind of experience for the players. So really think that everyone will be looking forward to it. So let's talk timeline. When do you think folks can start to expect this to become available? Both Neopets players and non-Neopets players, I'm sure will be looking forward to it.
Well, Tales of Dacardia is actually currently available for players in Hong Kong and Canada. And any eager players out there who don't want to wait, they won't have to wait too much longer as we will launch the game globally this June.
Okay, June. That is exactly 1 month and 7 days away, which is exactly 1 month and 1 week away, which is exactly like 5-ish weeks away, like exactly-ish. So I think the folks do not have that long to wait, and it's also enough time to be super excited about it.
Yeah.
And yeah. Y'all, thank you so much for sharing this info. It's been awesome to have you. And I know that again, like a lot of folks are looking forward to this, and I think it'll be really cool to see, you know, the Neopets experience kind of translate itself into other platforms as well. And yeah, it's just very exciting to be a part of this like era of Neopets as a whole, because, you know, it's definitely a shift since the last like decade. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that actually
sure. Me too.
one of the things I'm pretty excited about is with Neopass set up now, and with that live, and also with we collaborate a lot with the classic team. So I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for great tie-ins and fun stuff for fans.
Yeah, more to build upon with the Neopass feature, and I feel like that also just like bodes well for like what's to come in the future as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us, y'all, and just kind of shedding some light and giving us a peek into the vibrant world that is Tales of Dacardia. And yeah, it's been a pleasure having both of you.
It's a pleasure being here.
Thanks so much. For fun being here.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Y'all, I have to get myself in the right mood, because with all the fun stuff that's been shared, that means we need to move on to the grilling. Please join me in welcoming a TNT Dom for the Q&A portion. Yo.
Hey, nice to see you, Kevin.
Hey, how are you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. We talked about some fun stuff, and I think we're going to talk about even more fun stuff. So are you excited and ready?
Yeah, definitely. Bring it on.
Awesome. So with this final segment, I also think that you wanted to share a couple things with us, maybe?
Yeah, so I guess I wanted to start with something fun as well. So yeah, as we're entering like May already, we do want to give an update on kind of how the first 3 months looked at Neopets, and I want to share some updates with the community. We're planning to do this on a quarterly basis to make sure we have like give some updates to the community on what we've been doing, what we've achieved, and be more transparent with our progress so far. So some exciting news is that like we've been able to get a lot of returning users to come back to play at Neopets. So our average monthly active users is now more than 300K. And that's kind of close to triple compared to same period last year. So it's great to see a lot of returning players. It's very exciting. It's a lot more vibrant, and people are very excited, particularly about the NC pet styles that we've released earlier this year. It's probably one of the most hyped up or requested community event since our conversion in 2007. And then it's interesting to see the most popular NC pet style is the nostalgic gray Drake. And then it's exciting. So we're planning to bring more, as we mentioned in the previous AMAs, that every 2 months we'll have a new batch of these NC pet styles. So look forward to have more releases. I know there have been a lot of talks about what would be the next styles. So stay tuned and continue to give us feedback so we know what we should be launching. On the other hand, customer support, I think it's also one of the questions for this AMA as well. But I just want to share some stats. So in the terms of the number of tickets we've been answering, we actually doubled kind of like the ticket efficiency in resolving tickets. And we're also trying to improve the process more thoroughly and have more thoughtful responses, apart from just a cookie cutter, copy and paste type of responses. I'll get more into that. I think we have a question on that later on. But on the highlight, we've answered more than 45,000 tickets in the first 3 months this year. So that's kind of, I think, 3 times the normal kind of like tickets that we churn through. And customer average satisfaction score is we're now at the new peak, 82.6%. Which if you remember, I think 6 months ago, we're at 75%. So definitely we're churning through more tickets. We're improving customer satisfaction. So that's great. And I think that's also lead to the result of more returning users are able to gain access to their accounts and be able to play Neopets. And then some other exciting news, we have recently secured a master toy licensing deal. If you've been following our shows, you might have seen sneak peeks of some of our plushies that we're working on. I've showed one of it earlier in my AMA as well. But yeah, we're very excited that we will be launching new lines of plushies. And more details on that will be coming up, and hopefully will reach the shelves very soon. And as you mentioned, and as the Tada team mentioned, the Neopets is actually a new infrastructure that we've been working on for quite a while, and it's only the first step to really connect the whole Neopets ecosystem together. I know there is like kinks and stuff that we need to continue to iron through and fix a lot of the bugs that we faced when we first launched it. But it's great to see that the adoption is picking up. And then it's kind of like a fundamental upgrade to our login system, and also kind of like opening up the possibility for us to tie in like the new games that we're launching, and then also like tie in with community projects that we're working with. So yeah, so a lot of exciting things have been happening in world of Neopets, and we're definitely excited to share more.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to more. I myself have that nostalgic gray drake as well, so I'm not surprised it's very popular. It's extremely cute. Love a sad dragon. So yeah,
a lot more to come. So a lot more to collect as well.
Looking forward to it. But yeah. So did you want to?
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, before we jump into a lot of these questions, I guess some of the feedbacks we've been receiving in the past Q&A sessions or past AMA sessions is that there's a lot of like answers that we're giving out is like, oh, we're looking into this. These are on our to-do list. We're studying it and we're working on it. And we haven't been able to give a lot of specific dates on when new features like bug fixes will happen. I would like to kind of like give an update on why that is and how our product team works. So basically our product team actually works mostly in 2-week sprints. So we have a lot of these known bugs and issues that are on a to-do list. And then the way we work is that we churn through the to-do list on a 2-week sprint basis. So a lot of times that's kind of like why we haven't been able to give like specific dates on when we're working on a certain bug, because it's kind of on the to-do list and then we churn through it. And it's only on the 2-week basis we know, okay, these are the stuff that we're working on. And then for the bigger kind of like updates or upgrades sometimes require kind of like a span of over multiple sprints. And for the past few months, we've been working on a lot of like security upgrades, launching the new plot, working with like different kind of like new products, upgrading the payment system, and actually a lot of back-end infrastructure work. And those have been kind of like a big sprint items that have spanned across multiple sprints. And that has been one of the main reasons why a lot of the more apparent bug fixes that seems like it should be a low-hanging fruit hasn't been able to churn through, because our kind of like sprint backlog is quite a lot of items. And I hope now people, the community, can see that the website is a lot more stable. It's been less glitchy. And then some of these security upgrades have been like done. And so once these big tasks gets through, we'll be able to free up a lot of these development resources, and we'll churn through kind of like the to-do list that we already have. So I just want to explain this process to let the community know we're definitely listening, and a lot of items we are working on, and we will start giving kind of like more updates on kind of like the bug fix. And recently we have released kind of like starting to do the release notes on the fixes that we've done, and we'll continue to do that.
Totally get you. It kind of sounds like Agile, reminding me of my day job. And you know, I think it makes sense that you guys are kind of going through things in a like very organized fashion, so you're giving yourselves the right amount of time so that the fixes are coming through without like, you know, breaking 12 other things while you put in one fix. So totally get it. Cool. So do you feel ready to move on to the questions? Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So the first question is going to be, when will the password reset emails work again? Every day, many people are unable to reset their passwords.
Yeah, so I think our team investigated this in March, and then there was an error that we found during when we pushed the codes, and it's kind of like related to this password reset bug. I believe that the team mentioned it's corrected already. So I think this issue has been resolved. So if you kind of like do the reset now, you should be able to receive your password. If not, definitely send us a ticket. Otherwise, I think we have tracked the tickets that are related to password reset, and we've seen kind of like that going down a lot already. But definitely let us know if it's not working.
Gotcha. Yeah, so sounds like just make sure that you're reaching out and like getting the support you need, right? So the next question here is moving right along. We haven't had an update or a single bug fix to the actual Battle Dome in over 10 years. 10 years. Are you fixing the Battle Dome?
Yes, definitely. I think we've alluded to that previously, that Battle Dome would be part of the new plot. And the way that we're doing this is like we do want to fix Battle Dome as this plot progresses. So we've also recently started to fix some of the bugs related to Battle Dome items. In the latest update of our release notes, there's some info about that. But a lot of the bigger feature upgrade, including like bringing Battle Dome to HTML template, that's kind of something that we'll definitely be working on alongside with the new plot. And then we will be fixing issues with the like freezing potions. There's a lot of like UI bugs, and also like some of the stealing bugs that we're seeing in Battle Dome. So these are the main items that we're working on, and expect that it will kind of like come along when we do the plot review.
So it sounds like things are getting updated, especially like kind of in the bag, and like you're kind of like prepping yourself for this like Battle Dome plot that's coming along. Next up question is, there's a bug with the Grundo warehouse that makes entering virtual prize codes difficult and confusing. This bug has progressively gotten worse.
Yeah, so good news is that this bug is already included in this sprint. But it's kind of like as I mentioned, it's like a 2-week sprint. So it started kind of like how we study and look at the bug and see how we can fix it. And then we don't have a resolution yet, but we will update the community when we do. But normally after 2 weeks of studying, in the next sprint, we'll discuss about how we should fix it. And then if it's an easy fix, then we'll probably be fixing it in the next sprint. So that's why some of these items, sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but rest assured we'll prioritize fixing this, as we do have plans to release merchandise. As I mentioned, we have signed on a master licensing toy deal, and then a lot of the new merchandises that will be coming, there will be in-game items tie-ins, so it's kind of like an item that we definitely have to fix. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with like the TCG stuff we talked about earlier in this live as well. Like I definitely think there's a lot of value there.
Exactly.
So next up we have, in a similar vein, can rare item codes or retired items be re-released? It's so discouraging to play and collect when some items are not attainable.
Yeah, so I think that we have been trying to do that, and I would say it has been a very controversial topic for kind of like different set of players. So it's kind of like it's really hard to make everyone happy, but we are working to fix the inflation problem, and then re-releasing rare items is one of the levers we have. So we have been updating the kind of like the quest items. And then we will probably rotate that more often going forward. And in the past, we've devalued certain high value items already, but we just make sure we have to balance between kind of like the collectors that currently might be like unhappy when we release too many of these items at too fast of a pace. So it's really about balancing and try to continue to make like new users and returning users, but also like existing collectors kind of like on the right balance.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I've resonated with you from the very early days, is that there's balancing is extremely difficult, especially with an economy as like intricate as Neopets. So I definitely see the challenge there. And Dom, I'm just asking, don't target the items in my gallery. Like put in a filter, look at all the items in my gallery and say, okay, don't add these.
But I would say eventually we'll be introducing more rare items through the quest log tool as one of the ways. But there are definitely other ways that we're looking at to make it more accessible.
Absolutely.
Nothing personal, Kevin, but we won't target your gallery. Don't worry.
Don't worry, I will take it personally. All right, next up we have, can you please add captchas to Food Club? How hard can it be? How hard can it be?
Well, it's not a technical reason why we can add it, but it's kind of capture can become very costly. So we actually did it for out of the cup last year, and it actually costed us like thousands of dollars a week because of like the sheer amount of usage. So we are looking into like a cheaper alternative to do it. So we are looking whether we can launch that and for out of the cup this year and test it out. And then that could be one way for us to fix the ongoing botting problem that we're seeing. But apart from that, we're also exploring other alternatives on how we can fix the botting issue. I know it's one of the issues that we've been studying and working on, trying to have like different ways to fix it. But yeah, capture is definitely one of the solution. But we definitely need to find a more kind of like cost efficient kind of like solution for us to make it happen.
I did not know captchas were that expensive, so thousands a week.
Yeah. So I'm not sure like if it's like the wrong settings, so we definitely need to find a alternative way to launch it to make it more cost effective.
Makes sense. All right, we're gonna move right along. Do you intend to add more websites to the recommended sites list? There are fan sites that also provide valuable information, especially for non-English speakers.
Yes, definitely, because I think a community-centric culture is what we pride ourselves with this new kind of like leadership team since our Neopets Renaissance last July. I know that this fan site section probably hasn't been updated for I don't know many years, but we do accept kind of like new application process. So definitely feel free to apply. If you're the owner of any fan sites, you can come apply, and our team will start adding kind of like these certified fan sites to our website. And as some of you might be aware, with the introduction of Neopets, we are also working more closely with some of our fan sites already. For example, there is tie-ins with Slunny Neo, Dress to Impress, and we're trying to bring a lot of these community-run projects closer to the ecosystem, so we can all rebuild Neopets and be part of this Neopets Renaissance. So yeah, if you have any fan sites that you want to recommend, that definitely get them to apply.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. That's going to help to really build upon that cohesive experience, because as I personally, I use Dress and Impress almost daily, so really like to see that. So this next question is in all caps. I'm not going to scream at you, so imagine I'm yelling. We can't even mention Discord, Twitter, etc., but those are your social media channels. How is this possible?
Yeah, this is also, I know this is like super outdated. I can only explain, I think back in the days, the logic, it was that you're only allowed to link and discuss Neopets official kind of social media accounts on the site. But the reason why you're not allowed to link or lead other people to your personal social media accounts is because we can't really guarantee what contents are being shared from their personal accounts. And that kind of prohibits us to make sure that these content is safe for all ages. But as we all know, 99% of our user base now are mature adults. So whether we still need to have that stringent of requirement is something that we're looking into. But updating something like this actually is quite a lengthy process. So we have started the studying of kind of like industry benchmarks and how the best practices of other gaming companies to see what's the best way to do it. But we also have to involve kind of our legal teams to make sure that we're complying with all the laws and regulations, which there's a lot of updates in this space as well in terms of like privacy, especially related to like minor accounts. So we just have to make sure that even when 1% of our user base or 5% of our user base might be these edge cases in minor accounts, we still have to make sure we comply all laws and regulations. And I think that's kind of also the lengthy part. And also not to mention that it could be very costly updating these type of things and make sure we cover everything.
Right. So it's not just like, oh, let me go turn off a switch and it changes. Like there is actually like a lot of processes that need to happen to enable it.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds good. So the community regularly encounters issues with support, the core of which seems to be a shortage of staff. Are there plans to increase the size of the support team or improve the workflow so that the current team can respond to tickets thoroughly and appropriately? That's a long one.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of in the infographics I shared just now. We've talked
Mhm.
about how like there's certain improvements that we've been already doing and achieved. I know there's still a lot of room for improvement, but I would
Mhm.
say our brand, kind of like our support team is actually one of the like the top priorities to make sure that we can assist returning users to regain access.
Mhm.
Some stats that I can share, like 80% of our tickets are actually account access related, and
Mhm.
we've been able to churn through those a lot faster, and that's leading to kind of like a more efficient process, which we have improved the flow for account access related questions. And
Mhm.
then we actually have grown our CS team more than double since last July. I think we have a team of close to 8 people now on the CS team, and
Okay.
we actually have an experienced CS manager that joined us
Mhm.
like earlier this month, and she is reviewing and improving all the internal processes to ensure that we have the like a much up to date industry kind of like best practices, policies, and flow. So we'll slowly introduce that, and that would hopefully get us a much better process, and we can respond to other types of tickets more thoroughly and appropriately. I know in the past we've known for being kind of like copy and paste, and a lot of the responses are the same. So we are trying to improve that, and I think we are seeing some early results with the kind of like customer satisfaction kind of like score improving from 75% to 82%. And I
Mhm.
think anything above 80% is actually a great industry benchmark for gaming
Okay.
companies. So we're above that. And then average wait time, I think last July, the average wait time was like 3 to 4 weeks for new tickets to be answered. Now we're down to 2 to 3 days.
Mhm.
Still room for improvement. I want to improve that to like less than 24 hours to make sure all these tickets gets kind of like answered and resolved in a more timely manner.
Mhm. Mhm. I think that makes a lot of sense, and I think that it really does highlight that, like, yes, it may not be in the perfect state, but a lot of investments are being made to focus on that continuous improvement. So I think, that's really the highlight for me here. Um, cool. I think that's all the questions I had for you, and we're right at 8:02. Oh, wait, 8:02 in Chicago Central Standard Time for the folks that are in the best time zone. So I think that we're right at the hour, and I think that wraps up our AMA section. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Tom, before we close out?
No, thank you very much for hosting again, and it's always great to have you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, and thank you for the answers.
Thank you.
All right. So, y'all, it's finally time. I know y'all are waiting. So it's time for the giveaway. Thank you, everyone, for joining our lovely live. Oh my gosh, I hit my mic. For joining the lovely live. It was a lot of fun. This one was a lot of fun. And as you can see on the screen here, go to Grundle's Warehouse, type in the Neopets TCG to get your free item. One redemption per player. Go get your item. It's only available for 48 hours. I say this every time, but don't redeem it all at once. I don't want this site to break. I have to go bump my board so that no one can offer my pets. But yeah, that concludes today's stream, y'all. Thank you so much for joining. Have a lovely, lovely night. Bye.